Hi guys, so this is what I'm going to present on today. And as you can see, it says you can't do anything like you used to. It's an Australian study on the social implications of asbestos-related diseases. Why is this important? Well, that's what happens when you, on the left-hand side, the right-hand side as you look at it, if you get exposed to asbestos in any way. The one in the middle is from asbestosis or pleural plaque. You might just be able to survive pleural plaque. And the one on the extreme right is if you get diagnosed with mesothelioma. Now, asbestos can live in your lungs for 35 to 45 years before it actually kicks in. And once you're diagnosed, you've usually got about 2 years. So if you get meso, that's it. You're not going to be around much more than 2.5 years. So, why did we do what we did? Okay, well basically, as you can see, massive social impacts as a result of what goes on as a result of this. It's not a very well understood disease, plural S, diseases, because there's a number of them. Lots of research on the effects of what happens to people, but not lots of research on what happens to those who are related to them and how you can help them, that sort of thing. So that's what we were very much looking at. And it's interesting that what we do know is Australia has one of the highest incidents per 100,000 people of meso anywhere in the world. Now essentially, that number of cases that you're seeing up there was expected to fall. But as we will see soon, that has not necessarily proven to be the case. What did we do? We did 26 semi-structured interviews in New South Wales in 2014, and then we went back and just double-checked in 2015 how people were travelling, etc. And the answer is, out of those that you can see there, male 6 had meso, 2 had asbestos, 5 had pleural plaque. Females, 1 had meso, 1 asbestosis and 1 pleural plaque. Well, all the males are now dead. They've gone. There's one female there, and you can see there's a star next to her name. She is still alive, and she also happened to get exposed in a completely different way to everybody else. Everybody else got it in the workplace, okay? And she didn't. We'll talk about her in a minute. What did we find out? Well, there's some big themes came out. There's 4 themes there that we've highlighted, the impact of the diagnosis and what that means on people. And you can see the sorts of reflective quotes. The interesting one is people often say, I can't go to the pub, I can't play golf, I can't walk to the front door, I can't go shopping, those sorts of things. The importance of family came through, and you can see some of the reflective quotes there that support that. The importance of external sources of support and advice, and this is where we were involved. The tech people were just presenting before this. What we set up was something called Dusted Communities for them. It was online, and people could start talking to each other, and carers could support carers online. There's a complete lack of information out there. A lot of people think it's an old person's disease. I said just about everybody bar 1 was over 55 who got diagnosed. And also a lot of the medicos seemed pretty, we were aware of one diagnosis where they thought it was lung cancer. It wasn't. They diagnosed this person completely wrong and they died before they should have actually been diagnosed properly. The big one, the big theme that came out, third wave. That diagnosis was that the numbers were meant to fall, numbers were going to drop off. Along came the block, and along came renovation wonders and all that sort of stuff. And people started tearing down their houses and renovating without knowing what they were getting involved in, without knowing what they were drilling into. And ladies and gentlemen, we have now another wave of asbestos on its way. So in fact, the third wave is a major problem. And what are governments and other organisations and etc. doing about it? Well, not much is the short answer to it. They know it's happening, but they really would just prefer it wasn't happening. We could turn a blind eye to all of this. Essentially, what we found is that government and policymakers need to provide better information support systems for all first wave and second wave sufferers, but also increasingly, they need to advance planning in order to cater for the wider effects of third wave cases. Important thing here. In New South Wales particularly, third wave people will not be covered by the Dust Diseases Board, the DDB. Only covered by the Dust Diseases Board if you can prove you got the disease in the workplace or as a result of work. So here is this potential social problem looming, and the failure to address the needs and a reliance on a reactive approach could prove to be very, very costly, and that's what we have found.